Well, here I am on a Saturday morning, 6 a.m, ready to take on the Pinnacles walk. Pinnacles hut is about 20 minutes drive from Thames, on the Coromandel, one of the most stunning parts of the country. It's my hometown, so I've got to say that. So what I'm going to do today is just take you up, I've not really seen much online, so I'm going to take you up to the Pinnacles hut. It's about 3 hours walk from here. Quite accessible to anyone really. It does have its steep bits, but it does have its quite flat bits with some good spots to have a look at and have some lunch. So enjoy. We've got a couple of bridges to go across first. I'll get some footage of that, and then once we're up at the hut, we'll drop the bag off, have a bite to eat, and then we'll go up the steps, the many steps, to the top of the lookout. It's going to be a stunning day today, 16 degrees, so no complaints at all. Okay, we'll check in later. Hey guys, this is the first swing bridge we're going to go across. Now my understanding is that this track's actually been closed for the last year. You might see, look down the river here, we've had a bit of flood damage from the tropical storms over the last couple of summers, so Doc's done a really good job to get this track open again, so it'll be interesting to see what it looks like. I haven't done this track for about 10 years now, so it is on the 101 must-do things for Kiwis though, guys, so I'd imagine they've kept the track in a reasonable state. So pretty cool forest here, guys. What I'm going to try and find for you is may associate with New Zealand a silver fern. Now this is your normal fern. We're surrounded by those here. As we get further up, the idea being that underneath, here we go, dead ones, but I'll find you a live one. Okay, onwards and upwards. And as promised, here we have the silver fern, native to New Zealand, just like our netball team, who call themselves that. This is a new bit. Remember I was saying about the flood damage it's been caused in the last few years, so the last couple of years. This is a new bridge. Actually seems, it's actually a timber one, which is a bit different. What used to happen, shame actually, because it was a really pretty view down there. You'd head down the track, we'd come up the side here, cross and do a little river crossing here. They come up the other side, which was a really nice place to actually stop and have a breather. Because up next we've got something called the rock staircase. Now it's not as bad as the probably the Devil's Staircase, Tongariro Crossing or something like that, but it is a bit of a, so see at the top, from memory it's not that long, but that's a pretty good indicator of what it's sort of like. So it's quite uneven and that, but it's not you sort of watching where you're going, you'll be fine. But from memory, at the top, we're about 45 minutes in. You actually come up to a bit of a ridge, almost at the top, so you do get a bit of a breather. Well guys, I can see sunlight now, which means I'm at the top of the staircase. That was harder than I remember. So that took about 45 minutes straight up, a couple of stops in there, but it's just the uneven terrain takes it out of you, because you're going up rocks most of the time, so yeah. But up there now, 45 minutes in, so from memory we get a bit more sunlight now. Sun's come up, so guys, it's past the little spot called the Hydro Camp. Had a chat to a couple of people, stayed up there last night, so there's 40 people up at the hut last night, but it's full house tonight, so obviously a popular place. Bit of background really, the track we're walking on now was built by the forestry workers who deforested all the native New Zealand kauri tree around here back in the early 1900s, so forged by horses, people, tough men back in those days, mate. So we're not actually far from the hut. It's an hour, it says on the signs. New Zealand dock signs with their track distances and what have you are quite generous to a point. But obviously scenery is pretty cool around these parts, so got to factor in brakes and what have you. I can be there in half an hour or so. Have a stop and then we'll touch base at the hut, and I'll give you a look at the hut facilities and what have you. So from memory it was awesome. I took a stake up there last time. So here we are guys, we're getting right up over the getting up nice and high now. Hilltops. Sun's coming up. Since we've done that staircase, from memory it's reasonably gentle. A few ups and downs, nothing too strenuous, but not far from the hut now. I reckon probably 20 minutes or so. Started to pass quite a few people who've stayed up there last night. Everyone seems happy and smiling. The beds must be comfy up there. Here we are on the descent into the Pinnacles hut. You can see the trees over there. That's where we're heading shortly, the Pinnacles. So, interesting story actually. When I was up here last time, they have a full-time dock ranger who basically lives at the hut and his own quarters and sort of looks after things. Apparently has Sky TV too, which is a bit of a nice luxury to have up in these parts. No, he said Billy Connolly, Scottish comedian, came up here to film his New Zealand travel show years ago now. I remember it. I don't recall this, but yeah, he said he caught a helicopter up here, and so presented this part of the country to the world through that. So I didn't say he caught the helicopter. Obviously, everyone thinks he walked up here, but not so. That's what the dock ranger says anyway. So just on the descent now. There it is there. So quiet, apart from some birds, but yeah, you can see the outline of the stairs and that we'll be taking up there this afternoon, so later on this morning, so touch base in. quite a few people floating up and about. See if I can get a look at cabins on the way back, but kitchen now, it's off to the Pinnacles, 50 minutes, straight up some stairs, so I'll give you a look when we get up there. And so the steps begin. They're not difficult, but there are lots. See how we go. Gets to the top. Starting to get some pretty stunning views already. Looking back at the hut, through the trees there. Got a couple of ladders to negotiate soon. But yeah, as we get a bit closer, get this back on. Still going. More steps. Getting a bit out of breath. Gotta keep going. Not far to the top now. We're starting to get some pretty cool views. Pacific Ocean, Tairoa, Kauaeranga, even Table Mountain. Check it, it's real. Not as spectacular as its twin brother Cape Town's one, but hey, that's what we call it. Okay. Done the majority of the stairs. Start to see now the other side now. Looking out towards Auckland and the Hauraki Plains. Coming up to our first ladder now. It's more of a step ladder rather than a ladder as such, but one thing I have noticed on this walk today is it is September here, late September, so coming into our spring. Track is quite damp, so half decent hiking boots or some sort of shoes with some sort of decent grip are essential, I think, for any walk, especially this time of the year. Winter, summer can get quite dry, but it's a well-worn path, so even the rocks are quite smooth and can be quite slippery, so here's a big ladder, so got to be okay with heights, I suppose, but yeah, let's see how we go. Okay, forgot about these. Not quite ladders. You do need, I'm not going to be able to film it, I actually need two hands, so I've just come up some, just further back down there at the top of the second ladder. They're basically handheld railings, so they're safe, but just take extra care on these because they are quite slippery. I'm obviously not going to film this, I need two hands, but yeah, just a heads up for what is ahead of you on this climb to the top. We're not far now, but yeah. Here we are at the top of the Pinnacles, looking west, or southwest actually. So the Hauraki Plains up there, 759 metres high. We came from pretty much sea level, so it's been a bit of a walk this morning, but it's taken me, with a bit of a stop at the hut, it's taken probably the best part of about 2 hours 15 minutes, which is pretty good going. I've claimed it around the side. There's actually an official lookout point, but the side I'm at the moment was actually been closed off, so no, there's a bit of secret way around the back from it, so I found that, but yeah, no, it's a bit I'm not going to get up there by myself right now, but it's pretty windy, pretty fresh, so just make the most of the view. I'll go ahead around the other side to the proper lookout, and we'll check out the view from that side. But yep, made it. The last bit is there's actually a fair bit of bouldering, which I forgot about. Metal rungs into the rocks sort of all the way up, so again, yeah, you need to have your wits about you, but as long as you take careful and take your time, you've got some decent footwear on, you should be fine. And here we are at the top from the lookout. You can see this from the left. It's actually a nice little platform here, bag up to the rocks, peak. So we are at the top. Can I get much higher? Looking out west there towards Table Mountain. Again, just native forest view. So quiet, so quiet. Towards the Pacific Ocean, Mercury Islands, which are out there. No, sorry, they're the Alderman Islands, and to the Mercury Islands out that way. So great fishing spots, awesome summertime out here. But let's spend 10 minutes up here, eat a sandwich. I'm going to do a bit of a loop track on the way back, so could go up and down, that'd just be a bit boring. So there is a loop track now. We're going to head down. There is a turn-off point to follow what's called the Billy Goat track. Now, I've only done it a couple of times. It adds an extra half an hour onto it, but it is a different way back. Billy Goat track, yeah, it's not exactly foot friendly, but it is a good way. You see a waterfall and things like that. So, at this rate, should be back just after lunch. So, yeah. Cracking morning, people. Okay, we'll catch up once I head back to the Billy Goat track, but definitely make on the must-do list. Quite accessible around here, and like I said, the paths are good, you know. So come out and check it out. Here's a look inside the 80-person berth hut. Just had a good chat to the dock ranger on site here, so let me know all the improvements that have been happening here over the years. So. Got 2 wings. He says it's a full house tonight, so probably pass a few people coming up if that's the case. But highly recommend it. I think you have to book this place online, so you can't just turn up. It's about $25 a night. So okay, we've about 45 minutes from the hut now. Now we've walked to a junction, returning along the same path we came up this morning to the hut, but we've taken a left at the hydro camp junction. Now the hydro camp was just a point that workmen used to base all their work equipment as electrifying the Coromandel power poles and what have you. So there's nothing to see there, but it is the junction for the Billy Goat Trail. So first thing I noticed is it is a bit, it's like bumpier along here. There is an incline from memory for about half an hour, so no luck there with going down, but it's alright. We're going to get to see some more views further up. So stop a little bit further up, have a bite to eat for lunch. So the Billy Goat track, let's see what it's got in store for us today. Okay, the Billy Goat, still heading up now. So there's some work happening up here at the moment. Active landslide area. No stopping. Now I saw one of these coming up. It's the sign of all the it's a big landslide here. So I won't be stopping. But yeah, it's obviously been a bit of thing around here. So don't stop. Carry on through. So it's an update, half an hour on from the Billy Goat turn off. Yeah, she's been up pretty much all the way. I guess we are doing a full circle here, so and on that note we've got some more steps to come. But yeah, it's good. Day's warming up. I'll be out of here before it gets too warm, but magic. So finally starting to start on the come down, on the decline. One thing I've noticed, it's quite part of the track. I only seen one guy come up beside us so far. It's very wet, very slippery, so more so than the other side. So again, it's good footwear is a must, but it's actually overgrown a lot more since I last was here. So we're lacking in the views. There was a viewpoint back there, but so I just keep going. But surrounded by all this native bush, which is It's good, and it does keep you cool. So yeah. We're going to come up to a waterfall site and what have you a little bit further up, and hopefully we can have a look at that. But yeah. Catch up soon. Same old. Okay, here we are on the final descent. Now remember this beauty. We've been basically walking through the bush, in and out of a bit of sunshine. But like I said, a lot of the bushes have grown, so some of the spectacular views which you'll be able to see through these trees, yeah, you don't get so much a good look at it anymore. So, but the final half an hour or so of this hike is downhill, and downhill in a big way. So what you hear and see is basically for the loggers back in the day, these are obviously train tracks. So what they'd do, this is how they'd transport the logs out. So yeah, it'd be nice if we had something to scoot down on that thing, that's for sure. But where this leads us to, it basically gets us down to the bottom of the valley. We'll come across a river, which is probably where I'll finish up this little video diary thing today, because from there you walk back to the car park. But downhill, this is where it sorts the front of your legs out rather than the back going up. So yeah, well, here we are. We have emerged from the forest after a pretty significant decline. Now the knees are going to feel that later on this afternoon, but so basically where we're at now, we've pretty much completed the loop. This is the Kauaeranga River. We'll be crossing this. I'm not sure if you can see in the distance here. Over there we've got some orange signposts, so then all they're going to do is direct us back to the road, and I'll take a right and walk up a gravel road back to the car. So all in all, that's taken, for the loop with our summit as well, just over 6 hours. So I've done this pretty fast, but there's plenty to see if you can take your time. Here's Table Mountain from below. But so that'll be it from me. Hope you enjoyed it. The Pinnacles walk, it's a must do. Not one of our great walks obviously, but for what you get out of it, for an awesome night up in the hut, it's an overnight trip. Highly recommend it. So yeah, ciao.